Welcome back to Virtual School Assembly. Today our guest is Carolyn K. McGraw. Carolyn is an expert in positive possibilities. She empowers entrepreneurs and speakers to uplevel their confidence in their personal and professional life to make bigger impact. Carolyn's a motivational speaker, international best-selling author, and storytelling pro. She combines a master's degree in education with 15 years experience helping others overcome challenges as a clinical hypnotherapist and life coach. Carolyn has a TV show on the Women's Broadcast Network channel and has been featured on many TV and radio shows. Welcome to our virtual stage, Carolyn.
Hello. Hello everybody out there. I'm so happy to connect with you. And did you know it's the best day ever? Really, it is. I've got this best day ever. So if you intend it, if you believe it, you can turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary day. And just, the power of our thoughts. So if you're here listening today, you're meant to be here. You're meant to hear this message. There's something important here. Maybe that can take you on a path. Maybe give you a tool that will be helpful to you. So I'm here to inspire, encourage, and bring some hope to overcome anxiety and depression. So it starts with your story. What is the story that you're telling yourself? We're born into a story. We're born into our parents' story of what they went through, their experiences, and then we create our own story. Based on our family and then our own experiences. And are you the victim or the hero of your story? You see, all your experiences are going to match the theme, and you're going to believe your story to be true, and it's going to match that of victim or hero. So the quickest way to change your life is to change your words. And I'm going to show you how to go on your hero's journey by doing that and how it can relieve emotional stress. So the quickest way to change your life, because words have energy, and that the frequency, the vibration of words, negative words, positive words, affect your environment. They actually affect the cells in your body. So words affect our health, our relationships, and our goals and our confidence. So if you say words like, I can't, I'm not good enough, well, those keep you stuck. Those keep you from reaching your potential. So if you just change it to the positive opposite, I can, I am worthy, that changes the story that you've been telling yourself. Did you know that depressed thoughts if you can't be depressed if you are having depressed thoughts, not having depressed thoughts. So that's the thoughts create the feelings is the point I'm trying to make right there. So hurtful words can destroy. Hurtful words can destroy relationships, destroy self-esteem. Words can kill, literally kill. You've heard of stories such as Conrad Roy, a 17-year-old boy whose girlfriend called and texted him encouraging him to commit suicide, and he did. He's in the truck, carbon monoxide, and he gets scared. She's on the phone with him. He gets scared. He gets out of the truck, and she orders him back in the truck to finish the job. Shocking, her words. She's depressed also. So she's, two depressed people should not be dating. So there's another story. There's another story of a young man about to graduate from college. He's 2 hours away from graduation. His girlfriend texts him, you should die. The world would be better off without you. Well, he jumps off a building and dies. So what's up with that? These young men that have talent, that are intelligent, that have a bright future, yes, they're going through some depression, and they're with people that are depressed and encouraging them to take their life. That is the saddest thing. Our words have power. We need to be aware of our words. and speaking positive words in what we want to create and what we want to have in our lives. So really hear this. Don't accept negative words from other people. Don't accept lies. You need to reject negativity. You need to put your hand out and say, I don't accept that. And ignoring it doesn't do the trick. You have to actually say to the bully, I don't accept those words, and walk away, and then pray for them, because they're the one in pain. They're the ones that are projecting their story and their words onto anyone that will take them, because for some reason that helps them feel better to get it out. So that's what you do with a bully. That's what you do with someone that's bringing you down. Don't believe the lies. So I'd like to share a chapter of my story. I was an English teacher, and I was working with kids out of gangs in jail. And it was the most challenging job I ever had. And they were real good with rapping. And, so I want you to just imagine, I want you to take you into the scene, imagine I'm having some luscious dreadlocks and I'm real cool. And I'm getting into the flow of my students and how they love to use words to express their feelings. So here goes. Let me paint this picture of this place that I worked, a school, a classroom where miracles were hatched. Amidst dirty classrooms and cockroaches and smells of top ramen noodles. Loud, angry students constantly fighting, demanding, harassing the daily chant, starving for love, food, and rest. Too sleepy and stressed to learn English and math. Please help us survive this place, I prayed. PTSD was contagious for real. Visions of yelling at the top of my head. I quit, I'm out of here. Wait, breathe, smile, keep going. How can I help these angry, depressed students grow? Music, meditation, writing. I asked them to write what they were grateful for today. They wrote the same words over and over at the top of their page. I am grateful to wake up alive. As I stepped over those dead cockroaches, inspiration came, and I heard God say, wouldn't it be a shame to quit before it got really good? Yes, it would be a shame to quit before it really got good. I was committed now, and I said, please help me find something that will help them grow. Hallelujah. Let's write poetry about the pain stuck in your heart. One young man declared abuse, and he wrote 7 pages called Limbo about his journey of forgiveness to his abusive father. My students began writing their feelings, their emotions, and feeling better and lighter. They discovered their own healing remedy, transforming their pain into soulful prose. Tell your story in front of the class, I said next. It's not about what's wrong with you, it's about what happened to you. Epiphanies floated into my mind that day through my hand onto the board as I wrote, there is beauty in your pain. See the masterpiece within. You see, writing was their therapy and speaking their medicine. We discovered under the dirt, the noodles, and the angry cockroaches. So that's my little spoken word. And they encouraged me, my students encouraged me to write poetry and share poetry. And through that, sharing their story and their message, they transformed the way they saw themselves, feeling heard for the first time. And we ended up going to other schools, invited to churches to share our story and our poetry, and even went to the state capitol and on TV. And they were getting standing ovations. And so I was writing a book about this. Actually, I wanted to make a movie about this story. So we all have God-given gifts that we're born with, that we're meant to share. And that is about what you love to do, what's really important to you. And finding that is giving your life meaning and purpose. And we're to use that to bless others. And in your story is a gift. The story of how you overcame something and how you did that is a gift that needs to be shared, because there are people waiting to hear your story. You can change lives by sharing your story. You know, and the trauma that we went through, the painful experiences, is really opening you up to your gifts and using those gifts to help you overcome the depression, the anxiety, and the grief, using your gifts. And, you know, to turn around and share that with someone else is healing. That's healing to your heart when you can share that. So I want to share with you the genius alignment method that I've come up with. 3 steps to overcome anxiety, depression, and get you on your hero's journey. So number 1, negativity diet. Go on a negativity diet. Cancel, delete negative thoughts and negative words. Stop talking about what you don't want and start talking about what you do want. That's the power. It creates your reality. So that's the first step. And when people are speaking negative words, you know, that affects you. You don't want to be around that negativity. It makes you more anxious and more depressed. So ask that person, what are you grateful? What are you grateful for today? That stops that negativity flow. So here's one thing that I use. I coach teens on life coaching, and one thing that they have really benefited from was imagining a rose in front of your face, and that you're taking that negative thought and projecting it on that rose. And that rose is disintegrating the negativity. And you're breathing and you're visualizing the thought getting out of your head onto the rose, and it's dissipating. And you're breathing and you're thinking about what you're grateful for. That shifts your energy, it shifts your vibe, and it gets you feeling better quickly. So the number 2 is create something. Take your emotions, your pain, your depression, and create something creative. A poem, a dance, a song, music, a painting, drawing, something, anything. These are tools to get it out of your body and to see that you can create something beautiful and inspire other people. That's 2. So number 3 is writing. Okay, I'm an English teacher, so I've seen the power of writing. My students would write their life story and they would feel better. They would have a new perspective of seeing all the things that they went through and that they are the hero in their story, and, you know, giving you that perspective. So journaling is free therapy, 24/7 free therapy, writing your thoughts, your feelings, your goals, your dreams. And here's one little thing you can do is take a negative experience that you had, some trauma, write down your thoughts and feelings and memories about it, and then recreate a new ending. The ending that you wanted to have, the ending that your happy ending. And because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, and it's not about what happened, it's about what you're telling yourself that happened. That's what you get to change. That's what you can create in your imagination, and you can write that new happy ending, and it is healing. It really is healing and releasing of the body. So if you want to, so I've developed a program called Heal It, Write It, Speak It. So we work on what are the emotions. I find a lot of people with grief is leading to their anxiety, the stomach aches, headaches, that they didn't deal with the grief. They didn't have a way to let it out, and that is affecting their health. So I help them release that in some healthy tools to release emotions. And then they start to connect with themselves more. They start to communicate better. They start to connect in relationships better. Their confidence, their self-esteem grows. So it's an amazing process. So after we've done a little bit of healing, then I have you write your story, and I help you through that process. And then it's so exciting to be inspiring other people and speak your story. And I'm going to be creating a virtual summit where you can share your story, inspire others, and, help yourself grow. So if you want to inspire people, I want to talk to you. Connect with me, and CarolynMcGraw.com is my website. And I want to hear your stories. And if you're wanting to write a book, if you're wanting to speak, if you're wanting to grow a business, I love working with entrepreneurs. So remember, you're in charge of your thoughts. You can change that thought. You can choose a better thought. It's like a remote and changing the channel in your mind. You have a story. You're the hero of your story. Tell yourself a better story. You have the power to create something awesome. Thank you.
So Carolyn, thank you so much for your message. You brought up 3 points there at the end on what we can do if we want our words to change our life, what we can do to change our words. The first thing you talked about was meditation, and you talked about breathing and things like that. Now, for a lot of kids, they've never done these kinds of practices in meditation. I think you make a good point that one of the key benefits of meditation is recognizing the blessings that we have, what we can be grateful for. In addition to just breathing, are there any other kinds of exercises that can help kids recognize the good things that they have in their lives?
Yes, like a gratitude journal. Focusing, it's what we focus on. So listing every morning, what you're grateful for. And, before you go to bed at night, instead of thinking of the problems and the issues, think about the good things. It's really about retraining the brain and noticing that negative thought. I noticed that I would get depressed if I kept that thought. So I had to switch it. I had to go right into gratitude. I'm healthy. I have a car. I have a job. And that set my day. So it was just recognizing that thought will make me depressed. I don't want to go there. So recognizing, writing, and speaking about what you want to have rather than what you don't want.
Okay. So it's interesting when we look at how we change our thoughts, if we're starting there, a lot of religious traditions incorporate this into their traditions, right? So for example, people who pray often say the things that they're grateful for in their prayer. And I think a reason that that's so effective is we know from the research on visualization that if we think things, they're more likely to come into existence in our life. And so simply having a gratitude journal, simply doing some breathing exercises, that can actually have a huge impact on your day. Now, let's talk about...
Something else about that, Tyler, is when you get out of yourself and you look for who you can help, like doing some service, it gets you out of your own issue and problem and realize, there's other people that are much worse off than you, and it puts your problem in perspective. So looking for opportunities to do something nice for someone else is a big boost of confidence and self-esteem too.
Right, for sure. Now, step 3 was journaling. Remind me, what was step 2?
Create something.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I love that you brought this up, because as you did it, I thought, here we are in the middle of COVID-19. And as we came home and started studying from home, this is something that my kids did intuitively. As we were trying to work through our frustration and things like that, we actually, as a family, wrote a parody song to, who was it? Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline, right? So we did a Sweet COVID-9 and did this parody. We threw it up on YouTube, and it was a fun little, it really was a therapeutic thing for our family, where we wrote these words together, we practiced it, the kids were excited to be on YouTube, and it was a really cool thing. But it wasn't until afterwards that I realized, this really helped my kids process what we're going through right now. It was a worthwhile activity. And absolutely, like your suggestions, you can do that through poetry, you can do it through artwork. On other episodes of this show, we've talked about creating YouTube videos and telling your stories that way. And you started talking about actually sharing your story as a creative endeavor. Can you talk a little bit more about that? If kids want to share their stories, obviously you invited them to connect with you to do that, but what are other ways that kids can just start sharing their stories? Are there any other avenues that they can pursue?
Well, first of all, it's writing it down. You got to get it written down. And, as you write it, more stories come to you of how you overcame something that's inspirational. And then start sharing that with your friends. Start looking for opportunities to speak. And, online, YouTube, Facebook Live would be an awesome place to, this is who I am, this is what I went through, and, maybe this could help you. So, Facebook Live, Instagram, sharing, pictures and their story and what they created out of, with their talent, what they can create out of that. I love that. I want to hear your song, Sweet Caroline.
I'll link to it in this video. We can link it up. It was really fun to do. And I agree with you. Writing things down can be really helpful in a number of ways. One, it can be therapeutic and can help you think through your ideas and articulate your ideas in a more useful way. And then that gives you something that you can share with others. If you just have ideas floating around in your head, sometimes it's harder to share that with others. But once you write it down, it starts to take form. Now, you mentioned writing in a journal, and you can physically write, but there are other ways of getting ideas out. I know that for me, it's talking to my phone, right? So I'll turn on the voice recorder and I can do an audio journal. We've talked about how you can create stories using YouTube. Maybe I would like to dig in a little bit more about having an actual journal, like in the traditional sense where you either write or you type out. Are there any specific advantages that come by putting pen to paper?
Yes. It is like it's a quieting of the mind. It's getting that chatter out of you. It helps you sleep better. It helps give you space to be in the moment. So, and having the intention, I'm really angry about, and then you write everything down. You don't edit it. You don't, reread it, and you rip it up or you burn it. You get rid of it. It's like, it's the act of getting it out of your body, and, and then, replacing it with an I'm grateful for. So whatever is going on, if you have anxiety, say, write a letter to your anxiety.
Right.
How you feel about it, why you don't want it, and how it's affecting you. That is also a release.
Yeah. We actually had an anxiety expert come on, I think last week or maybe the week before, and she actually had that same suggestion. When we write things down, it can be very therapeutic and productive. In thinking about journaling, you've mentioned two different ways. One is recognizing what we're grateful for, and then two, just changing our language so that we can be more productive moving forward. To me, it sounded like, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, some of your suggestions work really well at the beginning of the day to start things off in a positive way, and other things work really well at the end of the day. Was that your intention, or am I reading too far into this?
I think so. I think so. This is what I found, that it's real easy at the beginning of the day to feel more positive. And at night, there's something about night that depression creeps in more. So just I like to tell my people to make a list of self-soothing things, things that make you feel better when you're not. So listening to music, drawing, connecting with a friend, going outside, exercise. And, I have a motto. My motto is something wonderful is about to happen. And when you have that expectation at the beginning of the day, you expect it, you believe it. I shared this with my students. I had them do an experiment. I want you to say this, write it down, say it every day, and believe it. Get excited that something wonderful is on its way. And those students would come back and tell me amazing things that would happen. One student won the lottery after saying something wonderful is about to happen. So she laughed. She was so excited. She goes, I'm going to do it again. So she said, something wonderful is about to happen. She goes back in, buys another ticket, and wins 2 times in a row. So it's powerful. Our words, our thoughts, and making the intention, like I said, this can be the best day ever. You can turn it around.
Right. That's awesome. Well, Carolyn, really appreciate you coming on to the show today. As you mentioned earlier, if people want to connect with you, you've got, is it Carolyn K. McGraw?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll link that up in the video. Is there anywhere else that you'd like me to direct people?
Let's see. I have some YouTube channel, Carolyn K. McGraw, with some of my episodes of my TV show, Life on Purpose.
Cool. Well, we will link that up for sure. Really appreciate you coming on today to share this message on how we can change our words to change our life. Very inspirational. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, Tyler, can I share one last quote with everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay, it was Buddha that said, "You yourself, as much as anyone else in the world, deserve your own love and affection." So I just want to say, love yourself up, find the good, develop your talents, write your story, keep breathing, and be an inspiration to other people.